steps are cool at dawn. Olive leaves still hold the night. Smoke is curling slow and thin. Names I whisper to the light. Sing, oh, sing to the stones and sky. Let the old words rise. Let the old words rise. Feet on earth and eyes held high.
Hvad så, folkens? Today we are going to check out a whole new area. This is Kings and Generals, how Rome conquered Greece. So, I hadn't really checked out much Kings and Generals. I'm really curious to see what they are about, and I'm really curious about this area because for me, I know obviously about ancient Greece, but Greece kind of just disappeared in like my mind. Like, don't really talk about it, like what happened and stuff like that. So I'm really curious to see Kings and Generals. This is a really popular video. Let's check it out.
The history of the human race has thousands of different conquests across ages, regions, and cultures, but it's difficult to find one that played such a decisive role in future events as the conquest of Greece by the Roman Republic, as its effects echoed through the millennia. Welcome to our video covering the...
Really? Interesting. I didn't really know it was again, Greece just kind of disappeared. Nobody really talks about the battles in Greece between the Greeks and the Romans.
First Roman involvement in Greek affairs, 4 Macedonian wars, the Seleucid War, the Aetolian War, and the Achaean War. These long videos take forever to make, so please consider sharing it through your social media. The year is 231 BC. And the Mediterranean world is a land of continuous warfare and political upheaval.
Okay, this is a really interesting map. This is like we heard about the Greeks in like the time of the Second Punic War, and I can see here with the the areas in Spain. This is like a map of like the time period of the Punic War. The Second Punic War.
Just 10 years earlier, the burgeoning power...
Actually, a bit earlier because the Celtic tribes up here has not yet been taken by
the
Rome.
Roman Republic had defeated Carthage in the First Punic War, establishing naval dominance at sea.
Oh, I'm getting so much smarter.
In the east, the Hellenistic kingdoms, Macedon, Ptolemaic Egypt, and the Seleucid Empire vie for dominance over their border territories. Sandwiched between...
Never heard about the Seleucid Empire.
In these greater polities are a number of smaller states, such as Pergamon and the nominally independent Greek.
Yeah, we heard about the Pergamon. I thought it was Pergamon. Okay. We heard about them in the Punic War, Second Punic War. Yeah.
City-states. This is the world of the late 3rd century BC. But soon a series of conflicts between 2 rising powers, Rome and Macedon, will change the fate of the region forever.
Is this... the art style here looks pretty familiar with the men here. Is it the Total War?
During this period,
That's
Illyria,
so smart.
which encompassed modern Albania
Illyria.
and Dalmatia, was regarded as a thoroughly barbarian region,
Really?
only half civilized by contact with its Hellenic neighbours. Though contact with the Greek world had led to a degree of urbanization in the south and along the coast, the region in a political sense was still made up of many small tribal chieftains. The population of Illyria had been regarded since their initial encounters as turbulent and warlike.
Ooh.
From time to time, one of the many Illyrian tribes would gain temporary
I think we got to hear a bit about Illyria in the Punic War.
hegemony over most
Sounds
of the
familiar.
others, and in the 230s BC, this was the Ardea, ruled by their energy.
What does idea mean? Okay, I thought it was some kind of a phrase. It's a kingdom, an Illyrian kingdom.
Energetic king Agron. They had forged a union of not just their own Illyrian peoples, but also prominent figures such as Demetrius, the Greek lord of Pharos.
Okay, Pharos.
Coinciding with the rise of this new Illyrian power was the collapse of Epirus, whose once formidable strength had waned and whose monarchy fell.
Okay.
Taking advantage of this weakness, the Illyrians invaded, and eventually managed to seize Epirot territory far south of the traditional border, climaxing with the seizure of...
So they're like trying to build like this huge Illyrian kingdom. That's pretty... I mean, it does make a lot of sense to do that, honestly. It's pretty awesome art style. I mean, that's really, really creative. And it's really different. It's a different feel, tone than what I'm used to with Oversimplified. It's pretty interesting.
Phoenike, the wealthiest city of the kingdom. Despite these successes, however, Agron perished soon after and was succeeded nominally by his son. In reality, it was his wife Tuta who wielded true power, quickly being appointed regent for her stepson. Her ascension did not stop Illyrian belligerence, and
it's funny that Demetrius is not the kind of the leader, so they kind of have like a queen. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty rare in this time period.
Her reign, piracy increasingly became a major problem in the Mediterranean. Seizures of more southerly...
Let's see, when did the First Punic War start? This is like 10 years after the First Punic War, and it is around 12 years before the Second Punic War. Okay, interesting time period.
Territories in Epirus had allowed the establishment of more staging points from which brigands could sail. This had been occurring for a long time already, but the increasing scale of the problem, the increasingly loud complaints of Roman merchants, and the economic impact of piracy on the Republic prompted the Senate to act.
It's not a really good idea to start sending pirates against the Roman merchants. They are pretty trigger happy.
Uncharacteristically peacefully for the notoriously combative Romans, the initial senatorial reaction in 230 BC was not to send in the legions, but instead to send a diplomatic embassy of the...
Really? Interesting. I thought Rome would be extremely excited to get into Greece.
Canius brothers to investigate the situation. In the typically harsh style of Roman diplomacy, the Canius brothers protested to Tuta about the increasing piracy and demanded that it cease immediately. The demand was not negotiable, and the Illyrians would have a chance to comply peacefully, otherwise it would be war.
That's honestly pretty fair warning, not gonna lie. Like, hey, stop sending pirates or we will mess you up.
Tuta refused this demand, either because of her inability to control the actions of her decentralized tribal allies, or because she simply did not wish to bend to Roman demands. Whatever the case, this did not please the Romans, a situation made even worse by the murder of a Roman envoy, possibly by...
Oh my god. You killed the diplomats. You are so done.
Tuta herself in the midst of the anger of the meeting, or on the journey home by those very pirates that the embassy had been dispatched to stop. While the death of the Roman envoy was the immediate trigger for war, the expansion of the Ardea tribe's power over the region was a deeper geopolitical cause. Rome did not want any powerful rival in the Adriatic.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But I wonder why they would even bother to like, say, hey, stop the piracy, and instead of just invading. Like Rome seemed extremely trigger happy when it came to Carthage.
Late in the campaigning season of 229 BC, a massive Roman force of 22,000 troops and 200 ships bore down on the Illyrians. Though details of the short campaign are lost, it is known that the Roman expedition was a complete success from north to south.
Gnaeus Centrumalu.
Tutor's appointed governor of the recently conquered island of Corcyra, Demetrius of Pharos, went over to the Roman side almost immediately, while the Queen Regent's forces were defeated in the field.
Yeah, this was a kind of a stupid idea of the Trituta to like piss off the Romans like that. Like, what are you doing?
By spring of 228, Tutor had been forced into a peace treaty with the Romans, breaking her kingdom into weaker segments and forbidding ventures of piracy into the southern Adriatic Sea.
Okay, fair.
The Romans withdrew their troops and left behind only their amicitia, or friendship, a benign-sounding term which would soon apparently become anything but that. In essence, being a friend of Rome included the de facto conditions of becoming an informal client state.
Oh, okay. So it's like soft power. Smart.
A primary beneficiary of the Peace of 228 was the defector Demetrius of Pharos, who was granted a small independent principality of his own, sandwiched between the remnant of the Idaean kingdom and the Greek cities.
Interesting.
Despite these gains under Roman auspices, it seems that the ambitious Demetrius was not content to remain in his small kingdom, and shortly after the peace was finalized, he married Trituta, the Idaean king's
Okay, Trituta.
biological mother. By becoming the young boy's formal regent in this act, Demetrius of Pharos effectively recreated the powerful Illyrian kingdom abolished by Rome in the First Illyrian War. He began to launch pillaging raids into the territory of Roman allied tribes. It could be that Demetrius was testing the water, and due to the lack of any Roman response, he believed they either could not.
Really? You really think you got a chance against Rome, dude? Come on. Like, you got a lot of territory here, but like, like, no.
Or did not wish to intervene. This was an illusion, as the Romans were instead occupied by the Roman Gallic War of 226 to 222 BC.
Yeah, so this the area, the time where they were starting to take like the territory south of the Alps. Yeah, so like we are not that far from the Second Punic War. So it wasn't really that. It makes sense why the Gallic tribes wanted to join Hannibal. If it was not that long ago, they were conquered.
It would prove to be a fatal illusion for Demetrius. Further trying his luck, Demetrius set out with 90 light galleys in the summer of 220 BC on a grand piracy expedition, ravaging cities around the Adriatic Sea in blatant violation of the treaty 8 years before. He had finally gone too far, and Rome decided that their former ally Demetrius now posed the same threat to Roman interests that Tutor had, and moreover, wished to punish their friend for betraying them and not acting like a friend should.
Ooh, that's so menacing. That's like, if that is like, oh, that sounds like something like a mafia boss would tell you. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna punish you for not acting like the way a friend should. Ooh, it's gonna be wild. Interesting. Illyria, we never really hear that much about like Illyria. So that's pretty interesting. We get like some Illyrian history.
The disproportionately massive Roman action, which began in 219, was probably motivated by the Republic's desire to swiftly and decisively conclude the Illyrian situation before a new war with Carthage began, as it seemed like it might.
Yeah.
Demetrius.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like a year before the war with Carthage. Like,
Demetrius' strategy was to hold the fortresses of Dimulum and Pharos itself, but
Who-
the Romans took the former in only 7
who did this?
days, while a rash sortie by Demetrius lost him Pharos. The man himself evaded capture because he had placed a squadron of hidden
Has he already lost? Jesus.
galleys in a secret cut
Oh.
fleeing to them when the battle was lost.
Okay.
On these ships he fled to the south, abandoning his family to Roman imprisonment
Wow.
and his men to death at Roman hands. Not long after, Demetrius reached the Adriatic port town of Actium, where the fleet of a great Hellenistic king, Philip V of Macedon, was anchored.
Yeah. We heard about him in a bit about him in the second Punic War with the oversimplified. It was where he was like joining Hannibal.
When he arrived, the king welcomed Demetrius heartily.
This is pretty interesting. We get to see like his perspective.
And he quickly became a key advisor. Meanwhile, the Romans withdrew all of their soldiers from the region, leaving no military presence. They once again left only their friendship behind, but had demonstrated to the great Macedonian kingdom to the south that they had the will to intervene in the east.
Okay, this is the end of part 1. This is going to be a longer series. I hope you guys are gonna be excited as I am to make this series. The original video will be down in the description. If you guys want to check out some other history videos like Oversimplified, I'll have it up on screen. If you guys want to check out some overly sarcastic deduction, mythology, and myths, I'll have that up on screen as well. So, thank you for being here, guys. See ya!